tables which I talked about, and I will just highlight what are the things are there. And you might be knowing this, but still it will be a recap. Okay. So first of all, I will be taking you through the table, which is your related to HRA, that is your V underscore T7 INR 7. Most of the cases you do not have to change much. Okay, so you have to just verify. Only in case of a waste type you have to check those value. Okay, so because waste types are client specific, right? Okay, so waste types you create your own and you have to maintain this. Okay, so here you can see what you understand by this. I will ask you.
Yes, sir. HRA type and tax code. You see the
Hmm.
HRA, house rental allowances, company raised accommodation, COA, like, and the rent. I did fair rental value. I know fair rental value, but I didn't understand about the hidden and mandatory. These two parts I don't know actually.
Yes, yes, yes. So basically, the fair rental value in case of a HRA calculation is not required, or any other cases. Only in case of your company leased accommodation and company owned accommodation. Okay. So these are
Okay.
actually you will be finding, because it will compare with other there are other so in the same area, what is the general conditions and all. So even that is for mostly applicable for company leased and company owned accommodations. Okay. So that is the thing. Otherwise, you do not have to change much here. Okay. So from a configuration point of view, okay, just your understanding, this HRA type, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever you are seeing here. Okay. So same thing will be seen in your 581 info type, or the drop down value you are seeing here. Okay. So that
Yes,
will
sir.
be getting there. Okay. So it is coming from there. And technically, you do not have to configure much here. SAP provides all these things. Okay. In case if you are deviating something very special accommodations, okay, which is not here. Generally, I have not seen in my projects in my earlier from my earlier experience. But if you're still
Okay.
having something very special, you are having a very special policies for your employee and all, then in those cases you have to create a new one, and you have to SAP provides that things also. But in those cases, the calculation will be completely custom. Okay, so it will not follow any kind of SAP principle. You have to take help from your ABAPer technical consultant, and you have to write your programs and everything. Okay, but in the mostly
Okay.
I have seen these are directly you have to take it, organization follow this structure. Okay, so do not have to worry much here. That is the thing. So other than this, the next table which I was talking about, T7 INT9 INR 7, then INT9. This is again, it is a ask for your country grouping. For India, it is 40, which you already knowing it. Then this is a different columns here. Okay, so now we will be understanding these things. So these are the different series of waste types. In this table, we have at present we have 56 waste types. Okay, we have
Okay.
specific. These are the waste types. This must be configured by you in a typical implementations. Okay, because these waste types SAP will not be SAP will be giving all the model waste types. If you say scroll
Okay.
down, you will be finding
Okay.
about all those model waste types. Okay, so which we have discussed, like M210, M2, all these M series. Okay, so
Yes,
these
sir.
are the model
Okay, sir.
types which are provided, and also you'll be finding certain things are not updated here. Okay, it can be so some of the amounts are not updated at present. Okay, so other than this, each after understanding this waste type, we have something called a text type. The text type can be, it can be limit based or it can be rule based. Okay, depending upon your setup. Okay, so if it is a limit based, there will be some, whether this is a 800 1600, some amounts are there. Okay, so that will be the
Okay.
calculation. If it is a rule based, you have to see what kind of rules it is having. Okay, so that is a rule. It can be rule or it can be limit based. Okay, so that is a
Okay.
principle. And the frequency can be annual or it can be a monthly. Okay, so most of the cases it's annual. Okay,
Okay.
so if it is some cases, if it is really something which is really it's a monthly for you, then you can do this thing. And other than this, you have an exemption amount as well. Okay, so you have a specific exemption amount which is the and you have to, in case your exemption limit is changing every year, you have to update those things accordingly every year. Okay, so that is things. And last one is the tax code, which the tax code which is aligned to which, whenever, as I was saying, talking about the flow, right? Whenever you are picking any kind of housing type, accordingly, system will check your corresponding tax code, and from that, this tax code system will pick this waste type. Okay, so this waste type will again system will check in your info type 8 what is the amount, and it will update accordingly. Okay, it will check your calculations, everything, this tax exemption, everything. Okay, so this is the simplest one table. And other than this, we have there is something called we can have your own tax code as well. Suppose you have a very specific special waste types, and you, in that case you are giving some exemption as well. So in those cases, you can also create your own tax code starting with Z. Okay, Z1, Z something, and you can also maintain this table. This is from my experience I'm telling. Suppose the company is giving, say, it is an educational institute or academic industry, education industry, and they are giving some exemptions for, let's say, you are purchasing some magazines or journals, research papers every month. Suppose you are getting an exemption of say 2000 or 3000 per month you're getting, and SAP doesn't provide that here directly. That is a special case. In those cases, you can create your own tax code, you can maintain your all these things. Okay, then that exemption will be calculated in your payroll processing. Okay, so this is from my experience I'm telling. So this table is understood, right? Or is there any questions here?
No, sir, I don't.
Lakshmi, what about you?
Tax codes, I didn't see still now in my
The last
display.
column is right. It's a tax code. Okay. So would you like to see where from it is coming from, or how is it? The tax code which we have seen right in the previous table. I will just go back to that table again.
Yes, sir. SHRA,
INR
Yes,
7. Okay. So
Oh,
yes, this is the tax code which you are having. Okay. So this tax code which is provided,
okay.
and as I was saying, you can also create your own tax code. Okay, so you can see I have written one tax code here, and this is a one letter. So HRA type, actually, if it is related to your housing related, you can mention a HRA type, tax code. Let's say I'll be putting it's starting with a Z, because if it is a custom one, okay, let me put it something like ZABC, then rent, say, if it is mandatory or hidden, non-mandatory, let me put it. And it is also, let me put it a mandatory, non-mandatory. Okay, so actually this is you'll be getting an error here. Why? Because this tax code is defined in somewhere else. Okay, you have to define it first. There is another table called T7. That error you'll be getting in the below section. I knowingly try to enter here so that you'll be getting. And if you click here in the view details, there is a table called T7 INT7. In that table, actually, these tax codes are maintained. And for everything, so this is the beauty of SAP. Wherever you are getting such kind of error, you will
Okay.
view details, you'll be getting the detail about it, the diagnosis, procedure, and how to correct it. Okay. So how otherwise you can directly go to SM30 and check this table, T7 INT7. Let me go there. V underscore T7 INT7, T7 INT7. So this was T7 INR7. So now let me go to T7
This
INT7. Okay, so this is the table I have to maintain.
maintain.
So where exactly you can see there is a list of tax code. Okay, like there are many tax codes, not only for HRA. So this tax code exemptions is applicable for many other things as well. Like previously we had conveyance allowance related tax exemption. At present it is now not there. Okay, so there are many things here. This is an entire series you'll be getting. There is a petrol reimbursement, tax code, short-term capital gain, voluntary retirement, VRS related tax code. These are all provided by SAP. I can't see anything new here because all these are given by SAP. Like your taxation is for gratuity. For gratuity, there is a tax code. For your hotel accommodation, everything there is a tax code. If you like to create your own, as I was saying, you can create your own. Suppose say Jet Mag. This is for, let's say my company is a media company or education company. Let me give some exemptions related to magazines or research paper purchase, magazine subscription, I will say rather. Subscriptions exemptions. I will simply save it. Okay. So let me put it on request. So this is a call, you must be knowing it. This is called a transport request. And you are aware of it, right?
Yes, yes sir.
Okay.
Something is there. Let me insert mag. Okay. So this is how your transport request, and it will be helpful whenever you are completed it in the development system. Then you will be moving it to your quality for testing. Then finally you can move it to the production. Okay, that's the sequence. Okay. So now what I have done, if somebody is asking a question, can we create our own tax code? Its answer is yes. Okay.
Yes.
So this is how we can create a tax code, and whatever the magazine subscription you can create your waste type, like any kind of deductions at 2000, 1000, 5000. So any kind of waste type we'll be creating. Then in the table, okay, what you can do after creating this tax code, it is a little bit off the topic. It is not related to HRA, but as we are in the table, same table, I'm just explaining. Okay. So here in the IR, actually this table is meant for your all related to HRA. Okay, so you will not be entering those which the tax code which I explained, that is not related to HRA, right? It is something else. So you do not have to enter that here. Okay, in the housing types. Okay, where you will be using that, there is also standard table, that INT9 table. Okay, so this is a table where exactly your tax codes and your waste types are mapped. Okay, you can see here, if you go here in the tax code, you can enter whatever the waste type. Suppose you have a waste type related to magazines, okay, or any journals. Then that particular waste type you can link. You can put an exemption amount here, like anything. Then you can put the tax code, whatever the JED I have created. Okay, so that you can test it. That also I'll be telling you as an assignment. Okay, so you can try that.
Okay sir.
So in this way, this is a universal table for all of your taxability of the waste types. This table is not only meant for HRA. You have to remember this table at least during your exercises and everything. So this is for all kind of taxability, not only for
Experts. Yes.
HRA. You will be finding many things, many more like medical, LTA, many things are here. Okay, but this limit are not
Conveyances.
updated, and this limit always you have to follow the latest whatever the notifications coming from your income tax department of India. Accordingly, you have to SAP will not be updating for you. You have to update these tables every year depending upon if the government has changed anything. Okay, so that is
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
this table is clear. The taxability of the waste
Yes
types.
sir.
Okay.
Yes
Yes.
sir, it's clear.
Now, after understanding this, we will be seeing some simple table. Okay, so which you do not have to maintain much. It doesn't require significant maintenance. So this is another table which is T7INA3, and actually the percentage or amount of housing related constants are maintained. I'm not sure why it is not maintained. You can view your system and you can tell me what is your understanding, and you can take a snapshot. Okay, the way I have mentioned last time. Srikant, you can go for Word document, and Lakshmi, you can go for PowerPoint. Okay, all these tables just to make you understand. You can take your snapshot from your system and you can make a note of it. At the end, you can provide me, send me that, okay, your whatever activity you have done. Okay. So after
Okay,
this, it
sir.
is clear, right? whatever the discussed.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
with
that's clear.
this, now the table I will be going back to you with some PowerPoint which I have prepared. Uh, this anyway I'll be sharing with you, which you have already discussed. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the basic things which we have discussed in that mind map in the initially is the same thing, same notes I prepared here, nothing much. Just will be having doing a small recap. Okay, so these are also these things you will be getting on any websites related to tax related things. Same thing I have explained
Yes.
here, like when exactly if your recommendation exceeds 1 lakh, then you have to present your landlord's PAN card. So from business point of view, okay, so this PAN card, you also have a provision to maintain, Infotech 581, you can maintain that, okay. And if your landlord is an NRI, okay, so this is again, I have never seen this kind of came across a scenario, okay. In case that
Okay.
deduct 30% tax from the rent amount, that needs to be declared. Okay, there are some special cases, okay. So I'm just making you sure, I'm just making ensure that you know everything, like from not only for a configuration, also the business, okay, or from a all these things. I've given some example. The business case here I've given. Suppose this is a how
Yes. Yes.
pays salary. I've given a case study here. Okay, Mr. Ajay Sharma, he stays in Delhi, the rented accommodation. He's paying rent of 10,000. This is how his pay slips looks like. Basic is this much, HRA is this much, and all. And how his HRA will be, exemption will be calculated. Okay, so detailed formula I have given here, so you can go through. I'm not going into that detail. Okay, and same thing
Okay.
also replicate in your system. Okay, I am not necessarily the same example you'll be giving, but similar example you can create your own, and you try to see whether these things are calculated accordingly or not. And say at the same time, you can also check the calculator government by provided by Income Tax Department of India. Okay, that calculator you can refer, and same thing you can test it. Okay, so like how it will be done and how this calculation will happen, whether it is matching your calculation, offline calculation with your SAP calculation. Okay, so in that way you can mix match all those things. And other than that, just to make you prepare for any kind of typical interviews, what I have done related to HRA, I have made some questions. Okay, so around 10 to 12 questions for you, okay, which you
Okay.
can go through.
Okay.
So this will be helpful for
Okay.
your preparation. Around 14 questions I prepared. Okay,
Okay.
so the first question I'll be explaining. Other than that, mostly we'll be going through. You're aware of the new tax regime, right, in the current financial year?
Yes, sir. We can get the two houses
Hmm.
exempt from it.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so if you have chosen for if the employee chooses to opted for new tax regime, so how employee will be choose for new tax regime? Any idea?
No, sir. I don't have that idea.
So in the current financial year, what is the government of India, finance minister, what she has done? So she has given two options. One is a new tax regime, and another is an old tax regime. Okay. So in
Okay.
case you've opted for new tax regime, so in that case, all this allowances exemption you will not be getting. Okay. So that is the thing. If you are become
Okay.
what I have done in my company, actually, even all the companies they've given the options. They also gave us a calculator. If you are going for new tax regime, whatever the insurance, whatever the SIPs, whatever the policies you have taken, those will not be more calculated. It will be not considered. So for that reason, most of the employees they went for old tax regime only. Okay,
Full tax. Okay.
old tax resume. And how you will be choosing that in the info type 588, SAP has introduced one options. Okay, whenever I will discuss in that info type, I will
Okay.
recap it. SAP has given an option there whether you will be choosing for old or new. Okay, so accordingly, your that also I'll be giving you as an assignment. Okay, it may
Okay.
happen that if that is not there and that option is not there in your system. Okay, I'll be sharing an SAP note for you. If it is, then you can configure that. Okay, then according again you will be testing the HRA whether suppose you have chosen new tax regime, then whether your HRA will be calculated or not. Okay, so that is a
Okay.
case studies which you will be testing it. Okay, because this one is very new. This came this year only. For that reason, I just put this question in the question number 1. Then your second question, like this one you understood, right? Like if you operate for new text resume, you will not be eligible
Yes,
for
sir, yes.
it will
Yes.
not be applicable for you. Okay, only for old text resume it will be applicable. So that is a thing. Second question is HRA fully tax free? This one also we have discussed in today's session, and it can be fully or partially exempted depending upon whether you are staying in your own house or you are paying how much rent. Okay, so again, so that depends upon, it is not always fully tax free. It can be fully or partially depending upon your type of house you are taking off. Okay, so that is the second question. Is that clear, this question?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
similarly, again, third question I will quickly go through. Is it possible to claim HR if I live in my own house? The answer is, thing is, it's a little bit tricky. Okay, so like if you're staying in your own house, you can't claim HR exemption. Okay, so
Yes, sir. It's fully
for
tax
that
free.
you have to rental accommodation. Once you reside in rental accommodation only. Okay. The fourth question is, can I claim both home loan and deduction and HR at the same time? Yes, sometimes you own a house, but you have not received the house. Okay. So in those cases, both home loan interest deduction and HR you can apply. Yeah, this again is business question. And
Okay.
can an employee claim HR exemption on a rented hotel room? Answer is a no. If you're staying in a rented hotel room, it is no. And can I claim HRA for 2 houses? No, it is unfortunately no. HRA benefits only for house. So whenever you're staying in the same city, then only one house only applicable. There are some basic frequently asked questions. And similarly,
Okay.
other documents is you must already be knowing it. Okay. So 15,000 per month or 1 lakh. If you are beyond that, then your PAN is required. If the owner is not providing PAN, which happened with me earlier days, the owner didn't provide me the PAN, then he has to give some declaration that because of the income tax issue, the general do not provide some of the owner. Okay, so that is the thing. And whether it is includes your electricity and this thing maintenance, no. Electricity charges, maintenance charges, you can't claim in your HRA. So that is the thing.
Yes.
And PAN card, which I've already discussed. This is a question number 10 is interesting. So if you're staying with your parents, what will happen? So in that case, what you can do, you can make a proper rental agreement as if you are paying your rent to your parents. Okay, in that way, this is a tricky one, but very many people do that. I have seen, and especially in the north, I have seen many people do that. So you can do that if paying rent to your parents, but it is not applicable for spouse. Okay, so that is not applicable if you are staying. You can't
Okay.
do between husband and wife, but only for parents it is applicable. You can pay rent and you can claim that as exemption. Okay, in that case, it is a little tricky one, but you can do it. And
Okay.
last one is like if you are forgetting claim for HRA form 16, then still you can do an income tax return while giving a return income tax. Okay, if you forgot to claim your HRA during IT claim, you can do that. Question number 12, which I have already discussed, your husband and wife, if you are staying, okay, this one is a little bit different. Okay, suppose if you are staying in a rented house and both of you can claim for HRA exemption, but you have to furnish two different rent receipt. It can't be the same rent receipt. Okay, so these
Oh,
are the key questions. And 80GG, there is something called 80GG benefit. Okay, so if you are a self-employed person, okay, then in those cases, what will happen? So actually, this is 80GG will be applicable. Okay, or if you're not received HR anytime. Okay, so in those cases, however, if you're a salaried individual, if you're receiving HRA, you can't claim 80GG. Okay, so people who are doing freelancing and all, okay, or gig worker, for those people, because they will not be getting some kind of HR exemptions, right? Because they are working independently. In those cases, if they would like to claim something related to HRA, then under section 80GG, there is a info type which we will be discussing upcoming sessions. Okay, so that is the
okay.
thing.
Okay.
And the last one also very similar to that in that line only. So these 14 questions you can remember, like anyone can ask if you. So with that, almost we are done. So Now the next one is whenever the assignment and assessment which I have given to the last time, anything you would like to share? Is it ready for with you? Or any questions? Lakshmi, have you done the PPT?
No, sir, she's not done actually.
Okay, no problem. So you take your time, no problem. So to answer, I think I have I kept one question suspense last time. What is the question, Srikant, if you can remember?
One second, sir. Sorry, sir, I'm unable to remember that.
So there is a gap. Okay. So anyway,
Yeah.
the last time I have asked questions like a person has joined, even I think in the WhatsApp group also I posted that.
Yeah. We have prepared. Actually, we both practiced about that. Actually.
Any understanding? Any?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have some understanding about that.
Can you share
This
your
joint person? Yes. Can I share the screen?
Yes, please share your screen.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Yeah. Please give me.
Yeah, I have to make a host, right? Just a minute.
Yes.
I've allowed you now. Now you can share.
Okay. Yes, sir. 3 employees left Accenture on 15th March 2020. First employee joins SAP left 27th March. Yes. So first employee joined 27 months at the same year. He joined in same year. So he needs to provide the current year employer what they give the salary and perquisites, all those things. He needs to provide. Like I explained here. Previous employment gross salary, value of perquisites, how much
Exceptions.
how much they give, and profits in lieu salary. They give any benefits like bonus and yearly bonus something.
Great. I think you have processed the salary and you have generated this amount from the payroll log,
yes.
right?
And yes, so the both guys who had joined the second year, like April, so they need to provide the only 5 elements like a leave cash exemption amount, how much they, and gratuity exemption amount. How so he needs to gratuity limit is 20 lakhs. So how much he claimed the previous employer?
Yes.
And voluntary retirement VRS exemption is 5 lakhs. How much
have you taken that screenshot as well? The 581 info type, sorry, 580, how it looks like for the employee who joined on 1st of April and for the employee who joined at a later point of time. Have you taken that screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. This was what I was looking for. Okay, so if this.
Sir, I also done this one.
Sorry. She also done this like this.
Great. Anyway, I will be.
But I'm not prepared power.
No point. No, you can take your time. You can take your time whenever you are getting free. Just only for your reference only. Just I will be taking it.
I will show you slides, sir.
No problem. You can take your time, and a later point of time, just like this, towards something end, we'll be discussing these things. Okay. And I'm very much happy that you have done it. And whenever the people join in the 1st of April, the 580 screen will be looking like different. And for the employee who joined later point of time, suppose the employee joining on 9th of April. Okay. So system may think like 1st of April to 8th of April, he has worked in some other organization. So in that case,
Okay.
there will be more options will come in the 580 info type. Okay, the system will show more options. Similarly, for employees who join on 27th of March as well, because it's a
March
different
2020.
financial year. Okay,
Okay.
so system will definitely check from 1st of April 2019 to 26th of March where the employee has worked. Okay, those details it may ask, it will be showing, and that details you can even if for a 2 to 3 days. Okay, in those cases there will be deviation, but for the employee who joined the second company, Walmart Labs, so there should be a different one. Okay, the screen will be looking different for
Here,
that.
here typically point is dates.
Exactly. Suppose a person is joining on the 1st April, for him it doesn't matter what his previous organization has done. Okay, because he will be getting a
I totally confused in this dates.
yeah. So he will
Yes.
be getting, suppose of the 1st April, the person who joined the 1st April, he will be getting a perfect form system from the previous organization because he joined, he left the organization the 31st of March, let's say. Okay.
I understood. Okay,
Okay.
sir.
And then he
Okay.
also started his journey in the next company from the 1st of April. Okay. So in that cases, you'll be getting perfectly a new form system. So there's no doubt. Okay. And it happened with me as well when in 2013 I joined an organization into March 25th. So I got two form 16 and for those 5 days also I got a form 16. So in that case it will
Okay.
happen like that only. So this is
Okay.
great. It is great that you are doing well, and the assignments also look good. Okay, and the other waste types which I talked about, right? Those remaining waste types also you have to generate. Just trying
Okay.
okay, whenever you're getting time. There is no hard and fast rule. Just to whenever you're getting time. This is like regarding 580 info type we have already discussed. Similarly, 581 also. Okay, all the experiment you can do it. Okay, whatever testing I have given to
Okay.
you. I'll be
Okay.
just putting those things in the WhatsApp as well. And
Okay.
you can second the way you have done last time. You can also mention like whatever summary. You can summarize
Okay.
whatever we
Sure, sure.
studied together.
Sure,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
So it will help us to progress. And once we've done this, so next time once your system is up, what we'll be doing, okay, so we'll be checking those how these exemptions are calculated in the system, that we will be seeing. Okay, after completing this, we will be moving to the 582. Okay, so the exemptions part, other exemptions. Is that clear?
Okay. Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, then we will stop here, and we
Okay.
will meet you again in the next week.
Yes. And thank you
Okay,
very
sir.
much, sir. The way of teaching is very good. Thank you for this,
Sir.
sir.
Welcome,
Your energy is simply super. Thank you, sir.
welcome. I
Yes.
appreciate you.
We both are like this way of teaching is very good. Lakshmi also has said to me, this is very interesting class. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I would
You're
like to
spending a
make
lot of time for me, sir. Thank you
it.
so much.
Yeah, welcome. I'm happy that you are understanding because that is my job. Yeah, I have to make you understand, make you everything so that you really. Actually, I'm also making it more interview oriented also because you have already gone through those level 1. Level 2 training means something more should come from my end. And also, I'll be sharing the slides. So once we are done with 5 sessions, every 5 sessions, because the slides actually, I do not use the same slides from the previous session. I always keep on updating every month. Okay,
Oh,
so these
okay.
are all running slides. Okay, so I get
Okay.
something new, always try to make it available for you. So that
Okay,
is
sir.
my
Okay.
job, and I will definitely
Okay.
update you. Okay, so let's meet then next week. Okay,
Okay.
I'll update
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you,
Good night.
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye bye. Good night.
Good
Bye, sir.
night.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night, sir.